What's up, fellas? JPS delivers here. Hopefully y'all are having a good one so far. We're going to run down, we officially, with that gameplay, oddly enough, against Luca's Minnesota T-Wolves team that made the playoffs, and I believe we did as well. We're going to take a look at it. I'm pretty sure, based upon what I was having set up, we'll go through this into the season awards as well as look into real life's All-Star Weekend ahead of us. Go through the rosters, the participants for the certain events and stuff like that. Give my take of what I think will happen, and not only the All-Star game, just coin some MVPs and like the World Game and stuff like that, Rising Stars. But speaking of MVPs, hold on, my fucking bulldog right here is being a little shit. But speaking of MVPs, Luka wins the MVP for this season, averaging pretty much a triple-double. 30 points, nearly 11 rebounds, and almost 10 assists per game. I think the odd thing about it is that he was actually averaging the triple-double for the season, but to finish the year off in that game against us, I believe he had 3 assists only. He shot the ball like 34 times, which is what you want to see out of all-stars and stuff and superstars when you play against them. You want the game to run with that kind of sliders, is that you want your superstars to put up the most shots. You see that sometimes with 2K sliders, and just the tendencies of those players that they're stars, but for some reason you'll play against them and they shoot 10 times when Tristan Thompson shoots like 15 or 20, and you're like, that's fucking stupid. I'm glad that happened that way. Luka wins MVP, like I said, and the funny thing is that he gets 3 assists in the final game of the season against us. And that happened to bring it down from a flat to even 10 assists per game, which would have given him a triple-double average, which I think would have been the last time since Russell Westbrook did so when he won MVP in OKC. Weird to say when he was in OKC. That's the case. Shot 43%, but the 3-point line, 55%, and then nearly 85%. So that's a really good true shooting as well. I mean, it's a hell of a fucking season right there by Luka Doncic. And just by playing his team, once we controlled him, it just seemed like that was the easiest way. I mean, no D-Russ, no problem. No D-Russ, no D problem. Just Barton went off and whatnot. We'll go over that more detail in a sec after going through this stuff, and then we'll talk about the All-Star game. But yeah, Luka MVP, just stellar season across the board. Rookie of the Year, Zion with the Phoenix Suns. 19 points, 7 rebounds, nearly 3 assists, and doesn't get a block per game. Crazy enough, but his field goal percentage, of course, he's going to be a guy that's going to be set up there to where he's going to be set up with his athleticism and strength, which strength is part of your athleticism. It's going to get you easier chances for easier shots, kind of like a DeAndre Jordan. Takes advantage of his strength, his athleticism and size. Zion easily does it with his grade A athleticism, and there you go, 62%. Not up to even 70% at the free throw line, but that should improve quite a bit in the next couple of seasons. 3-point percentage, just not very good at all. Pretty much are between 1 and 5, 1 out of 5, or 1 out of 4 threes a game. But already at 83 overall. So, he's going to progress quite well. I mean, driving dunk 98 makes sense. The guy's supremely athletic, already one of the best athletes we've ever seen, and definitely one of the best athletes in pro sports right now. Ricky Rubio, oddly enough, gets 6th Man of the Year. Right there, he gets 11 points, pretty much 12 points per game. Kind of a surprising, not averaging more than 7 assists per game, winning a 6th Man of the Year, but, not seen as much of a shooter, 39%. Free throw percentage is good, though, and he can hit the occasional 3 for you, so 1.5 steals is nice as a 6th man, and then 5 rebounds as well. Pretty solid stats, but, I mean, interesting to see we didn't have a better-looking stats for a 6th Man of the Year, but we'll just have to deal with it. Lou Will is not 6th Man of the Year. But Defensive Player of the Year, LeBron on the Celtics, so 1.7 steals per game, 1.2 blocks per game. Free throw percentage, 65% on the season. Pretty low, but I guess it's near average is what he shot lately and stuff. So we'll just have to see what the deal is and whatnot. pretty crazy. Just, I don't know, I anticipated a better deal when it comes to, I would expect Defensive Player of the Year, maybe a Paul George or Kawhi, see if one of them gets, or just someone that gets near 2-2 for steals and blocks. That's really interesting. But hey, LeBron doesn't win MVP, but he wins pretty much a defensive MVP. Most Improved Player, Luka Doncic, makes sense. Even if he finishes last year as a superstar, just the fact that this guy goes up to a near Russell Westbrook stats-wise, Most Improved Player as well as the MVP. Coach of the Year with Paul George's boys. I don't know what the fuck that is in his hand. It must be a lineup or something. I don't know. But Greg Popovich, 54 wins. Not happening this season, I can tell you that. That offense looks really good at 88 overall. First in the West, first in conference, first in power rankings. Must be the best team overall. So that concludes the awards. These are the NBA all teams. This is the first team right here with Luka, Stephen Curry. Let's look at the stats of how these guys ended up the year. 29.5 and 9 assists. I mean, that's going to get it for you. It's just, if Luka doesn't have the monster year, it could be an MVP season for Curry again. Giannis right there with 32, 12, and 7. I mean, again, right there. That's what I'm saying. Look at that. So LeBron has less steals per game and less blocks per game than Giannis, but he wins Defensive Player of the Year. That's interesting to me. That's what I was saying. I could have sworn I've seen guys with better stats. We kind of looked at LeBron's already, 27.5. Quite a bit of points scored. And there you go for the center position. Nikola Jokic on the Brooklyn Nets ends up getting it 20, 15, and nearly 8 with 1.5 blocks per game. Nice, impressive. And he concludes NBA first team, NBA second team. You get James Harden and Russ Westbrook together right here. James Harden, 31 points per game, 8.4 assists. And he has himself almost 2 steals per game. So nicely done right there. Kind of anticipated him having a good amount of points. Russ again, stat sheet stuffer, 30% at the three-point line. Totally makes sense. Not amazing at the free throw line either. It's kind of lacked as lately these last couple of seasons, as we had seen in the past. But field goal percent, still attacking the basket quite well. AD nearly 29 and 12 right there. Nice season by him. Blake Griffin gets. I mean, look at this. You want to talk about shit? You could make a case for Most Improved Player being him again. I mean, holy fuck. Probably play. How many games did this dude play all year? I mean. Oh, career stats. No, sorry. There we go. 28.9 and 7.5. Must have played most of all games. I don't know, but let's look at 80. So 25 right there. 24. James Harden was getting 30. Let's go back. So Luka's, yeah, that's how insane Luka's stats were. They're insane like that anyways. And yeah, Curry right there with 31. And then, yeah, we got the numbers a little bit more skewed, but still 18. So 19 and 14. Oh, big fucking whoop. Still amazing stats. And then Cat concludes the second team with nearly 25 and 12 and 1.5 blocks per game. So impressive right there. He's an offensive superstar at the position. Doesn't surprise me. DeMarcus Cousins gets third team right there. 29 and, well, just 2 assists. Interesting. Must have been a low year for Joel Embiid and company. Might not have played all too well, but look at that. Unfortunately, the number 1 team. Could we see the Spurs lose as the first seed? Are they playing the Grizzlies? Are they playing the Grizzlies in the playoffs? We'll have to see. Paul George, 24 points, 7 rebounds, nearly 4 assists, and 2 steals per game. Yep. So weird. Yeah, right there. No Kawhi Leonard in this All-NBA teams. Interesting. Dame right there, 28, nearly 29, and 6 per game. You got Kyrie right there as well. Kyrie was so hard to play. I know we had that gameplay earlier in the season against Miami. It's pretty impressive. You know, the 2K computer, Kyrie's pretty fucking insane. And you got the Toronto Raptors with KD getting 26 and 6 and 4. So that concludes NBA all teams, all 3 teams. Eric Bledsoe gets all defensive team. He's averaging 1.1 steals per game. You got Drew Holiday right here with Indiana Pacers, 1.5 steals per game. Actually got traded from Denver to the Pacers. It's pretty interesting, if you ask me. What team is Bledsoe on? Orlando, tragic. LeBron, Giannis, kind of the usual suspects right here with Giannis and Gobert with nearly 3 blocks per game. Right there to conclude the NBA All-Defensive First Team. Russell Westbrook, nearly 2 steals. Marcus Smart, 1.5. Draymond Green with 1.5 steals. Anthony Davis with 2 blocks. Easy for him on that. And not the greatest numbers, but traded from Atlanta to Memphis was Dwight Howard. We're going to have to look at some of the moves that were made in the middle of this season. All right. Controller's going down. So here we go. This must be the all-rookie team right here. Yeah, all-rookie first team. Zion. We saw his stats of the year. Bulbo right there. Manute Bol's son. 7'2". What are his ratings for shooting the ball? He actually has a really good shot. Jesus. It's kind of scary for what his upside could be right there. Not amazing stats for threes and whatnot, but still, though, 1.7 blocks per game. Playing alongside Kyrie sounds kind of dangerous. RJ Barrett's right there with the all-rookie team, 15.7, 4 and 3. Kobe White, nicely done at North Carolina, the shooter. Played a decent amount of minutes, you'd imagine. Yeah, but not a full 36. And then Brandon Clark for the first team right there. And then second team, Rui Hachimura. Comes from a family of Benihana chefs. You got 15 points per game, 5 rebounds. Not amazing at rebounding, but I imagine the guy is a skillful player. And right here we got Alexander Walker. I believe he plays for the Pelicans in real life. Memphis in this one, not too strong. You got DeAndre Hunter with better stats than that. P.J. Washington as well. P.J. Washington, kind of an undersized. He's kind of a body of a 3, like a Draymond-sized guy, but shoot the ball for sure. And then Jackson Hayes out of Texas. Not really all too efficient, I have to say, but, I guess his rookie class was kind of lacking. Sometimes we have it. But that concludes the all-NBA teams, and this is what the bracket's going to look like. San Antonio in the first seed against Zion, so it's going to be Paul George, and we can actually see. It's going to be Fred VanVleet, Andrew Wiggins trying to hold it down with Yusuf Nurkic. So not really that bad of a team to deal with this, but Nurkic's going to have his hands full with Embiid. Chris Dunn, Damian Dotson, and you got Paul George injured. Oh, let's switch teams. There we go. Then we got Markelle Fultz, RJ Barrett, Miles Bridges, Zion Williamson, Joel Embiid, Kent Bazemore. Who's injured on this team? No one. I guess it's just a really young team. Barrett must have been the 3rd pick or something like that. Joel and then Zion. So interesting right there. Memphis with Stephen Curry. Believe the 4 seed with Gordon Hayward, Mirotic, and Bam Adebayo, as well as Dwight Howard. It should be interesting. I know Bam was actually asking to get out of Memphis, so... But you got Blake Griffin, Lonzo Ball, Josh Richardson, Justice Winslow. I don't see how this team scores many threes. Maybe when Danny Green and Joe Ingles get on the floor. But I just don't see that being the case with this team. It's interesting. So now we got the 3rd seed Sacramento Kings. That will be John Wall and James Harden. Actually sounds like what were John Wall's stats this season? 22.5, 8 assists. Nice year right there. Jay Crowder right there. DeMontis Sabonis as well. Man, it's actually a pretty good team right here. Jonas Valanciunas too. Not the best defensively down low between these guys, but they definitely have a great amount of size to get a decent amount of rebounds. They got athletic bigs behind them with Thomas Bryant and Christian Wood. They got Dame Lillard. Just fits the bill right there. Denver, fucking Colorado mindset, fitting the bill with Portland. So he's kind of in a home type place. Lou Will, Lauri Markkanen, JaVale McGee back in Denver, Jordan Clarkson. Anybody else injured on this team or no? Must have been 3rd pick, 4th pick or something like that. That's my guess. Minnesota. Yeah, the T-Wolves. 2nd seed. Luka with the great year. You got Jermichael Green, Tristan Thompson, Wendell Carter coming off the bench. I think someone's injured, right? Nope. Yeah, Ja Morant. That's what it was. Ja Morant injured. And then OKC, we're looking at Rozier, Donovan Mitchell, Kyle Kuzma, Bruno Fernando. Must be someone injured at the post position for this team. Yeah, Montrezl Harrell. So it should be interesting to see that. I think Phoenix has a chance to upset the Spurs. I think Phoenix will beat the Spurs because Paul George will be out. So I fully anticipate an upset of that one. I think Memphis handles LA. They're going to deal with Blake Griffin quite well. I think Sacramento's kind of my favorite to make it out of the West so far. So I usually with that, you know what I mean? I'm not going to be the guy that says Sacramento's my favorite to make it out of the West, but I don't know if they get out of the first round. That's fucking stupid. Sacramento's going to get out of the West. That's my bold prediction for that. And I think Luke and them do well, especially if Montrezl Harrell's short. Then we got Derek White, Klay Thompson, Tim Hardaway, Paul Millsap, DeAndre Ayton. We're going to have our hands full with this team. They definitely have size. Ayton's going to be hard, and I think Ayton's going to have a good job against Jarrett Allen. They are missing Spencer Dinwiddie, though, at the moment against the likes of this team, which is not in the most healthy of situations, is our Knicks team. I'm thinking of maybe simulating one every other game. Just have to see. Russell Westbrook and the Milwaukee Bucks. I think like they're at full health with Clint Capella, so it should be a good defensive team. Again, another team that I don't know. I just don't see them being able to score too much from the 3-point line. But hey, last game we did really fucking well doing that. Not having to go at the 3-point line. So we got Malcolm Brogdon right here, Marcus Smart, Jimmy Butler. Also, too, I think with that Washington team, it could be like playing that Chicago team. It's going to be hard to beat them if we don't have D. Russ at all. If we can get D. Russ like in game 3 or 4, maybe we can do something. But if we can game 4, it's going to be really fucking hard to win. So we'll just have to look at the injury stuff and just see what's up before I make that prediction. I do think Detroit's going to win that one. Orlando with Bledsoe, Giannis. I mean, yeah, it's Giannis and Mitchell Robinson against who's on Toronto. Well, got Kyle Lowry, Kevin Durant, Son Whiteside, Jaren Jackson. You know what? I'm still just going to pick Giannis in that one. Giannis, 2K loves Giannis. And honestly, the world loves Giannis. Giannis is going to win that series. No one else on that team, just Giannis. 76ers, they're built well. They have good shooting with TJ Warren and Buddy Hield. And also great defensive play between these two, between LaMarcus and Andre Drummond. With Marcus Saul coming off the bench, JJ Redick can shoot. Michael Beasley's right there. Kyle Korver can shoot. And also, too, they have wing defense with the likes of Patrick Beverley to make up for Buddy Hield's defense, TJ Warren's defense. And then they have the size and defense with these two guys. I mean, this is a well-made team. And JJ Redick will shoot. Michael Beasley will shoot. He'll stretch the floor at that position finally compared to, he'll be more athletic than an Aldridge. Kyle Korver, got Ish Smith running the point when nothing else is going on. I like that team. And then, of course, we have Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Love, Willie Cauley-Stein. I think this series will go 7, but I do think overall, this I don't know, because Willie Cauley-Stein is just going to get owned by Drummond, but Kawhi Leonard and Chris Paul are going to win their matchups respectfully. And then Kevin Love matches up with LaMarcus for a decent amount. I'm going to say the Bulls upset him. So Washington, we'll have to see. I think Detroit's going to win that one. Orlando's going to win that one. Or Giannis is going to win that one. And then Chicago's going to win. Minnesota's going to win. I think Sacramento's the team to beat in the West. I think Memphis wins this one. I think Phoenix upsets the Spurs. And depending on the injury news, let's check this out. So, let's also look at the final win of the season. Right here, let's check out these stats. So, scoring 130 on the road. Look at that. We had a 77-point second half. It was like backs to the wall. I felt like it was the smoothest half of basketball I've ever played at 2K. My God, no D-Russ, no D-problem right there. I mean, Patty, and it was the defense, too, that was crazy, because we were moving the ball up and down the court in the second half, which, we were playing, to score 130 points like that and not shoot a bunch of threes shows that you're playing at a fucking fast-ass pace. And mind you, like, the fact that we were playing at that pace and then they still couldn't keep up with us showed that we were doing a great job on defense. I mean, look at these stats. Patty Mills shot 28 times, and he shot 5 for 28. I mean, I was playing stellar defense on these guys. Not even that many turnovers. It was just lockdown defense. But look at the amount of blocks. I mean, that's what I mean. 3 assists by Luka ended up taking him off. But a nice game by Tristan Thompson overall. Wendell Carter did all right. Almost a double-double. Patty Mills just played horribly. But this was the man of the day right here. Will fucking Barton went off. He was just insane. 3 turnovers, though, but he had that cool, sick block. Look at this. 19 blocks in the whole entire game. 6 by Porzingis. 4 by OG. And I think like 3 of those that were actually against Luka, dude. OG had a sick game. Him, Gary Harris, and Will Barton were running the fast break better than I've ever run the fast break with any other team. Made me excited to see what it could be like with D. Russ coming back. We'll just have to see. But Pascal was hitting mid-range shots. Yeah, Bertans was hitting nice little pick and fades. Jared Allen was playing good defense down low. Jeremy Lin was running the point pretty well at times, especially towards the end of the third quarter. Boban was there with 3 key blocks. And, I mean, look at this. Come on. Like 39 assists. 59 rebounds, 19 blocks, 5 steals, compared to their 50, 23, and pretty much got more steals than us, whatever. But 19 blocks to 5 blocks. That was a fucking tear right there. Let's look at injury report right now. Let's see. Nope. Oh, so high ankle sprain. He's day-to-day, so we'll just have to see with our case. Right here with the New York Knicks. Should have gone the other way, but out 2 to 4 weeks, so it still looks like he's just not going to be at full health for the whole rest of the series. That sucks. Maybe he comes back. I don't know. It's just unfortunate because I wish that was the case because he's definitely our best offensive weapon, I'd have to say. So, yeah, it's just whatever though. But yeah, looking forward to it. Let's see. Play the game, see if anything gets simulated. I think everything except for these games. But yeah, Dinwiddie's out, but we're definitely hurting more not having. I'll go ahead and just simulate game 1, see how many days that takes off. Right there. Oh my God, that's a fucking win. What was the box score on that? 123 to 108. Klay Thompson, 22 points, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Dinwiddie right there. So Dinwiddie did play day-to-day. Just not that good of a game by Ayton. Must have been a Porzingis fest. Yeah, 28 points. Good game by Jeremy Lin. 3 assists, 20 points. Geez, shot the ball 17 fucking times. Will Barton, pretty good game. OG did well in rebounding and assists, though. Going to have to shoot a decent amount more. But hey, I'll take a fucking win. Well, I'll take one. So there we go. Simulating a couple games. Still no D'Angelo, but San Antonio won game 1, 122 to 107. Yeah, 122 to 107. Got top scorer for the game was Van Vliet. Joel Embiid just not doing all too great right there. Interesting. Then 2-0, like I said, Memphis is making their way towards it. And then they won 138. Steph Curry, 45 points. My God. And then Denver, holy fuck. What a bold prediction over here. Denver is just, ooh. What is Dame Lillard just going off? Yeah, look at that. Jesus Christ. This playoff Dame Lillard. What am I doing? Hopefully this changes for the better soon. But OKC with the win right there. Luka with an impressive game. But no John Morant. Could be a problem for this team, honestly. No Montrez. But I don't see Tristan Thompson getting much done against them. 1-1 should be a good series. Very impressive game by Westbrook. Gallinari played well. Butler played well, of course. And then we'll have Brandon Clark having an impressive game right here. And what was a Bucks win in that game. So funny enough, when Russ has an amazing game, that team doesn't win. And here we go. Expect the Giannis, playoff Giannis. There we go, 33 points, 14 rebounds, 9 assists. And let's go. Giannis still had 23, 14, and 7. Isaiah Thomas in 20 minutes has 28 points. Holy fuck. Kevin Durant right there. That's just... Kevin Durant needs to do more, man. Kevin Durant needs to do more. 13 points. He's just getting dumped on by Giannis. And there we go. I'll at least take that prediction with Chicago. I say Chicago makes it out of the East, actually. Chicago with Kawhi Leonard possibly have the best player, possibly. I know Giannis is amazing. Kevin Durant's Kevin Durant. But possibly have the best player in the conference, and that's going to help. And also, too, anybody notice LeBron is not in the playoffs? LeBron is not in the playoffs. Let's take a moment right here. Make sure the huge LeBron dick riders are alive still. But Kawhi Leonard, huge game, 39 points. 6 rebounds, 3 blocks, or 3 steals, bleals. 3 steals, 2 blocks, impressive. And then, let's see, 46 points, 9 steals, 7 rebounds. I love 2K playoff stats. This shit's fun. This shit gets me hard. Look at that. It's just, Giannis having games like that. Dame having games like that. Like this right here. And that's just sick. So we'll just have to see. Let's look at the injury report. Yeah, he's out for the rest of the year. But there's hope. There's hope maybe that it's another 1 to 2 weeks. We'll just have to see. I will simulate the game 2. Nah, I'll play game 2. Fuck it. We'll have to see. We'll just see. We'll just see what the deal is. But let's look at predictions for All-Star Weekend. We do have Bam Adebayo out of Miami. These are the participants for the Skills Challenge. Patrick Beverley, Spencer Dinwiddie, Shea Alexander, SGA. You got Chris Middleton, Domantas Sabonis, Pascal Siakam, and Jason Tatum. I think either Jason Tatum or Spencer Dinwiddie will win the Skills Challenge. I'll go with Dinwiddie, though. Dinwiddie seems like one of those type of dudes. Just the way he plays and how smooth of a basketball player he is. Seems like the type of dude to win in the Skills Challenge. 3-point contest. You got Davis Bertans. You got Devontae Graham, who I think is well in the running for most improved player this season. Joe Harris, Buddy Hield, Zach LaVine, Devin Booker, Duncan Robinson, and Trae Young. Fuck it, we'll take it all the way. Let's go, baby. I hope Trae Young does it. Let's do it with Trae Young. Yeah, I'll pick Trae Young on this one. Damn. Hold on. Oh yeah, I was gonna look at transactions. Let's look at transactions for the whole year. Where the fuck is this shit? League news, transaction report. There we go. Trade. So we got that trade. Yep. Drew Holiday for Lou Williams. That's what that trade was. Well, it appears the Nuggets got more out of that one. Pau Gasol. Interesting. Terrence Ross. Cameron Payne. Cameron Payne, man. Nothing huge. Nothing huge this year when it comes to trades. Interesting. Moritz Wagner for Dwight Howard. That was interesting. Because Bam got really fucking pissed after that. Let's just have to see. But here we go. I think Trae Young. I think Davis Bertans is just out of my own bias. Just because of how good of a shooter he is. He's dark horse for that. I love Devontae Graham's story. But I'm going to pick Trae Young for this one. Slam dunk contest. Where's Slam dunk contest? We got Pat Connaughton, Aaron Gordon, Dwight Howard, and Derrick Jones. I'm all aboard on the Derrick Jones. Derrick Jones is a fucking freak. Let's do it. I'm down with it. Nostalgia, whatever, with Dwight Howard. That shit was like 10 years ago, okay? I'm done with it now. Aaron Gordon, he hasn't won yet, but we'll just have to see. But Derrick Jones has this in the bag. And, yeah. And, I think LeBron wins MVP to dedicate it to Kobe. I think that's pretty much the narrative. Playing in Chicago, that's where the All-Star weekend will be. The All-Star game will obviously be. I think LeBron gets MVP for that, and I think Trae Young gets MVP for the Rising Stars game. Seems like a Trae Young type game. It's gonna be fat. Just fits the bill. If it's a real game, I feel Luke has the best chance for MVP. But I think for Trae Young, he's going to have an opportunity to shoot a lot of open threes, and it's just going to be like fucking practice to him. I mean, have you ever seen him in pregame warm-ups? It's almost like Steph. So we'll just have to see. As always, fellas, that was my prediction. You know, just like how crappy this one is with Ball Sacramento, we'll have to see going down, see if they come back, as they were my prediction for the West. But I do think Chicago's going to win out of the East. As always, fellas, take care. Be grateful for everything that comes to you. And, yeah, take care, fellas. See you next video in what should be Game 2 in the Eastern Conference first round.